Welcome to Mining Review Africa. We are at Investing in African Mining Indaba 2025, and we have the pleasure of speaking to Bulelo Mavasa, who is the Director and Head of Land Reform Practice, Werkmans Attorneys. Bulelo, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's just jump into it. How are mining companies empowering communities to be sustainable?
The empowerment of communities is actually legislated in our law, and the governing legislation is the Mineral and Petroleum Development Resources Act. It makes provision for mining companies to have social and labor plans. Those social and labor plans stipulate how mining companies plan to contribute into the community, which includes things like building of hospitals, building of schools, and that social and labor plan is one tool that mining companies must use in order to uplift communities around them.
Oh, wow, that's quite impactful. Thank you so much. What are some of the challenges mining companies face in working with mining communities, and how do we overcome these challenges?
Look, I think we're also in a climate where, because of the abject poverty and unemployment that's happening, we're finding that a lot of the communities, or in some of the communities, people usually gather themselves and informally call themselves things like business forums, and sometimes they try to use nefarious means to extort companies around them, and that's not just unique to mining companies. And I think that's because mining communities are not formally structured in a sense of enabling a mining company to know who they should deal with within their community, who is a legitimate leader, who is a legitimate chief or traditional leader or traditional community in many other instances. So the challenge for mining companies is when they get approached by different groups, different factors, trying to listen to what communities' needs are. Some people, a lot of them, will want to be employed in the mines, and they don't have the skills, the requisite skills. And most of these mining activities happen in very poor areas where there aren't any access to education, access to even the basics. And so mining companies find themselves having to bear the brunt of what government should be doing in terms of service delivery. So as you know, most of these areas are also underserviced. And they're in municipal areas where municipalities, most of the people aren't ratepayers, and you end up finding that municipalities, or rather people end up wanting the mining companies to play the role of governments or of municipalities in a way that they're actually not geared up to play. So those are some of the challenges that mining companies are faced with. But I think another big one is the fact that most rural areas or where mining activities happen, you find that there are communities that don't have land tenure rights, which means that a mining company won't know who to consult with when they need to do their normal day-to-day business of mining.
Wow, you shared some valuable points there. Thank you. And what role does Werkmans play in this regard?
Look, as Werkmans Attorneys, we're a firm of attorneys which with a multi-disciplinary, multi-dimensional firm, and we provide all sorts of services across the board, whether that is in dispute resolution or in the commercial sector. We have a very huge thriving practice that spans many, many decades, specializing in mining matters, where we help clients deal with disputes such as appeals and objections. We also provide advice in the mining litigation space. Recently, we've heard about the illegal mining activities, the Zamazamas. Werkmans plays a role there. We also play a role in trying to uplift communities and letting them know what rights they have. We've helped communities around explaining to them what the laws are if a community is, for example, interested in owning a mine. You know, Section 104 is one of those pieces of legislation that is underutilized because it actually says that mining communities can themselves apply for mining rights. So we've also been very active in publication, writing articles, holding seminars, beyond just giving legal advice.
So that's amazing, actually. What more can stakeholders do to ensure that communities are sustainable in the long run after mine closures?
I think that's quite an important thing. We've seen what happens when mining houses close, either because of, they've liquidated. It creates room for the illegal miners to thrive. So we do need to ensure that there's responsible mining, that mines are closed. I think there's a lot of mines out there who are playing the role of encouraging illegal mining activities that are dangerous to communities. But I think more importantly, in a platform like we have today, investing in mining in Indaba, we'd like to see more of what can communities contribute, more of even including in the speakers, for example, people like ourselves who deal with communities on a day-to-day basis in terms of how communities can actually also benefit in a direct and intentional way. So I think conversations amongst all stakeholders, mines, governments and communities, if there's a collaborative effort into ensuring that mining is not just extractive, that mining is sustainable, also taking into account ESG principles, then I think we could be going a long way into this mining industry.
Yeah, you will, definition. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.